A woman pulls up to a gas station on a Tuesday morning. She's done this hundreds of times. The routine is automatic. Window down, card in, grade selected. She reaches for premium, always premium. She bought the car 2 years ago, and somewhere in the first week, she made a decision that she's never revisited. The pump clicks. The numbers climb. She gets back in the car. The engine starts exactly the same way it always does. There's a number that determines everything about this decision. Most drivers have never heard it. It's not on the pump in large print. It's not in the advertisement. It's buried in the owner's manual, in a section most people open once, if ever. The number is the engine's octane requirement, not the octane of the fuel you're buying. The octane the engine was actually designed to use. These two numbers are often different. The gap between them, when it exists, is the entire cost of the premium habit. Octane measures one thing: how resistant a fuel is to igniting before the spark plug fires. In a high-compression engine, the air-fuel mixture gets squeezed hard enough that lower octane fuel can detonate prematurely. A knock, a ping, a sound that in sustained form causes real damage. High-octane fuel resists that premature detonation. In an engine built around high compression or forced induction, premium isn't a luxury, it's a specification. But most engines on American roads weren't built around those conditions. A mechanic in Indiana, 19 years doing engine diagnostics, has seen this pattern his entire career. Customers bring in their Corollas, their Civics, their Malibus. They've been running premium for years. They hand over the keys with the certainty of someone who has been doing right by their car. He puts it on the lift. The engine is fine. It was always going to be fine. The engine literally cannot tell the difference, he said once. Not unkindly, just the way you say something that's simply true. Inside the fuel door of your car, there's a label. It says one of three things, and which one it says determines whether this conversation matters to you at all. Unleaded fuel only means regular, 87 octane. The engine was designed for it, calibrated for it, and will perform correctly on it for the life of the vehicle. Premium fuel required means the engineering depends on it. High compression, boost pressure tuned to higher octane. Using regular in that engine makes the knock sensors pull timing to protect themselves. The engine survives, but at a cost to power and efficiency that compounds over time. Then there's the third label, the one that costs American drivers the most money, collectively, every year. Premium fuel recommended. Recommended is not required. It's not a warning. It's not a specification. It's the manufacturer saying, this engine was designed to run on regular, will run correctly on regular, but may extract marginally more power from premium under specific high-demand conditions. Wide open throttle, sustained mountain grades, heavy towing and heat. For a daily commuter in normal traffic, at normal speeds, those conditions almost never occur. Picture a woman who has owned her Honda Accord for 4 years. She puts premium in every time. The fuel door says recommended, and she read that as something close to required. She's not careless. She's conscientious. She's the kind of driver who checks the tire pressure every month and keeps the receipts from every service. She spent roughly $2,000 on premium fuel, above what regular would have cost. The Accord ran identically on every tank. The petroleum industry didn't create premium fuel for performance engines. Performance engines existed long before the premium grade was a consumer choice at every pump. What the industry created was the premium tier as a retail category, always visible, always available, priced in a way that makes the middle option feel like a compromise and the top option feel like responsibility. Standing at a pump under fluorescent lights, with other cars waiting, with a tank that needs filling, the higher price does something to the human brain. It signals quality without explaining anything. A petroleum engineer who spent 12 years in fuel formulation described it plainly. The octane requirement of a vehicle is an engineering number. It's set by the manufacturer. It's in the owner's manual. Premium fuel beyond what that number requires produces no measurable benefit. The marketing creates an impression the engineering doesn't support. The American Automobile Association tested this. They took vehicles that required only regular, not recommended premium, just regular, and ran them on premium. Performance, fuel economy, emissions, no measurable difference on any metric. The study wasn't funded by anyone who profits from people buying regular. There was no financial incentive to conduct it. It confirmed what engineers already knew. The cleaning argument comes up almost every time this conversation happens. But doesn't premium clean the engine better? It's a reasonable question. The answer is in the chemistry, and the chemistry is more interesting than the marketing. All gasoline sold in the United States, every grade at every pump, must meet EPA detergency standards. The additives that clean fuel injectors and intake valves are federally mandated at every octane level. Top-tier certification, which means a higher concentration of those additives, exists as a voluntary standard above the federal floor, and it applies equally to regular and premium. A top-tier regular from a certified station cleans injectors as effectively as, in some cases more effectively than, premium from a station that hasn't met the higher standard. The cleanliness of the fuel is a function of the additive package, not the octane number. The pump with the highest price doesn't necessarily have the best additives. The certification is what matters, and it has nothing to do with grade. There is a version of this story where premium is exactly the right choice. If the fuel door says required, not recommended, required, that's the engineering talking. The compression ratio, the boost pressure, the ignition timing were all calibrated assuming higher octane fuel. A BMW M4, a Porsche 911, a Cadillac CT5V, a Corvette with the high compression engine. These are machines built around a specific octane assumption. Feed them regular, and the knock sensors pull timing to protect the engine. Less power, less efficiency, more stress on a system designed for something else. Required means required. The cost of the fuel grade is part of the cost of the car. But walk through any parking lot in America, count the vehicles with required on the fuel door, then count everything else. There's a man who owns a Ford F-150 with the 3.5-liter EcoBoost, turbocharged, recommended premium. He fills it with premium every time because a coworker told him 3 years ago the turbos need it. He pictures the boost pressure, the forced induction, the engineering complexity, and it feels right that a truck with that kind of capability should run on better fuel. He drives 40 minutes to an office. He idles in school pickup lines. He runs highway miles at a steady 65. At none of those loads does his engine approach the threshold where premium provides an advantage. The knock sensors have nothing to do. The timing runs exactly where it was designed to run. The EcoBoost is a sophisticated engine performing a completely ordinary task. He pays $12 extra every fill-up. He fills up twice a week, 52 weeks a year. The truck doesn't know the difference. He does. He just doesn't know that he knows the wrong thing. Ford's owner's manual for EcoBoost engines includes language that most owners have never read. It says in plain text that regular unleaded is acceptable and will not cause engine damage. General Motors publishes similar language for engines that carry a premium recommendation. The manufacturers know what they built. They put it in writing. The writing has been sitting in a document in the glove box the entire time. The gap between what the manual says and what drivers believe costs, by some estimates, applied across the American driving population, several $billion per year, not in one transaction, in increments of 12 cents per gallon, multiplied by 3 fill-ups per week, multiplied by the years since someone first chose premium and never thought to reconsider. Here's what the owner's manual will tell you if you open it. It will tell you the grade the engine requires, not recommends, requires. If it says regular, regular is what the engineering calls for. If it says recommended premium, the next sentence in most manuals explains that regular is acceptable for everyday use. If it says required, you already know. The answer was always there, in the glove box. The woman at the gas station on Tuesday morning, she drives a 2019 Honda CR-V. The fuel door says unleaded only. She's been putting premium in for 2 years because the car was expensive and she wanted to take care of it. The CR-V has always taken regular. Page 321 of the owner's manual. She's never been there. The engine started the same way this morning that it started the first morning she drove it off the lot. The receipt is the only thing that changed.